That was 4 fights ago now. I feel like even that fight and the training camp I did for that fight helped me massively over the last few fights I had after that. I feel like I'm a better fighter now, more improved, more conditioned, and ready to be an even better version, better soldier.
You're so close to your dream, you know, of winning the championship of the world. You know, it could be Usyk, it could be Daniel Dubois. Is there anyone you prefer? Is there an easier fight, or do you?
Whatever fight's available. Usyk and Dubois are fighting, so whoever's next on the list, whoever's the next best on the list, I'll fight. And then just keep going down the list until I can find someone.
Okay. Who do you see as the more dangerous opponent, though? Usyk or Dubois?
I believe Usyk. I believe Usyk is a great fighter. Dubois is a changed fighter from his first fight. But then this is why we had the rematch, to see whether Dubois can overcome what he got stopped with a jab. And he did. A lot of people are also questioning the body shot. I think it was a low blow.
I think so. I believe it's going to be totally different. If the people thinking that's going to be the same thing, then they're in for a shock, a surprise, even their team. So, I can't wait. I'm knowing myself better. I'm trusting myself better as a fighter. So, yeah, can't wait to get in there.
And the fact that it's at home, it's at Wembley. He's got 3 belts, you've got 1. But being here in London, where you're from, does that give you a chance as well?
Yeah, to have the home crowd. And just this is where I did it the last time, so I know I can do it again.
So, he's got a shot, he's got a massive shot, but how do you bet against someone who's never lost, who doesn't know what it's like to lose? But I think if there's ever a chance for Dubois to beat someone like Usyk, it's now with the momentum he's got, at home, he's got everything in his favour, and Usyk has got nothing to gain really, because he's already beat, but he done the same thing with Tyson Fury and AJ, gave them both rematches and done it better the second time round. So I'm really intrigued in this fight, and everyone's going to be behind Daniel Dubois. He's a great guy, straight down the line, but he's fighting a wizard. He's fighting someone who doesn't know what it's like to lose, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get another Usyk victory, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Usyk starts showing signs of age, hard training camps, all those amateur fights, world championships, the WSB. He's done so much, so many rounds on the clock, so many miles on the clock. He's pristine, but there's a lot of miles.
I think Dubois will be in. That's my early prediction. I know a lot of people will obviously fancy Usyk, and rightfully so. And as much as I like Dubois and think he's getting better and all the rest of it, I'd like to see Usyk win. I think Usyk's a great fella and a great fighter, but I think Dubois...
Different to the first one. I can make much more of an argument for Dubois in this fight.
Me too.
Firstly, because he actually had success in the first fight.
He did. Do you think it was a low blow?
No.
No.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
You do think it was a low blow?
Absolutely was. If you look,
you do?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, sorry. You caught me out then with the question. If you watch, it lands low, and while it's got contact with the shorts, it actually rides up at the point of impact.
So I've no use to my argument.
But it's irrelevant, because they're going to fight again. Usyk won the first time, and as he said, he won by stoppage. But Daniel Dubois is a different fighter now. Fighting is 90% mental, and he is a completely different fighter mentally. He lets his hands go with freedom. He now trusts his engine, because he had those rounds with Jarrell Miller that tested his engine. So he's kind of ticked the little boxes along the way, old school.
Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois are set to collide once again in a rematch that has the entire boxing world buzzing. Their first encounter ended in controversy. Dubois landed a body shot that many believed should have been ruled a knockdown, but instead it was called a low blow. Moments later, Usyk stopped Dubois with a jab, and the fight was over. Some called it quitting, others called it experience. Since then, Dubois has transformed.
So we've seen them do the wrong things in the past. We've seen him take a knee, whatever have you. But the best way to explain Daniel Dubois is he's a 27-year-old veteran. He's experienced everything the boxing can throw at him. He's been dropped, he's been down, he's been stopped, and he's found a way back. And he's now on the back of his biggest ever victories. He's on his best ever run. The victory over AJ was something else. For me, I think Daniel Dubois' big chance here is the first 6.
He carries his power late though.
No, he does, but
slows down a bit, doesn't he?
It's not that he slows down. It's up here with me.
Well, yeah, you're right.
It's all the problems are all up here, because I think as a fighting specimen, as an athletic specimen, the boys.
Do you believe he quit against Usyk in the first fight?
Absolutely. Well, do I believe Daniel Dubois quit?
Yeah. Okay, and have you
I
seen
think he had enough, yeah.
if that quit is there, it's in you.
The first time's the hardest. The first time you quit is the hardest. It's only
But
gets
do you
easier
think he
going
can
forward.
quit again?
Of course I do, because he's
Yeah,
done
he
it once.
can't. He can't do it again. But
Of course
I
he can.
think mentally he's in a better place now
He
than
is.
he was then, but not better than this man.
No, I agree.
And I have a theory as well. I think the shot was okay. I think that if the referee starts counting, Usyk gets back up and wins the fight anyway.
he
But he
does.
just used his experience and
Dubois Usyk, how does that go?
I'll do this every single time and say that someone's going to beat Usyk. I think at this stage, Dan is. I think it's going to come down to youth. Like Dan's very, very intense. He's on a high right now. He's going to have Don Charles in his corner screaming him on. So Usyk is definitely a talented boxer. We've seen it. He's one of the best we've seen. Movement and keeping someone under mental pressure. However, if someone's not thinking about that and you're not able to hurt them, although he did stop him in the last fight, in this fight, if he comes in with that kill or be killed mentality and just keeps on going from round 1 to round 12, at some point I just think he's going to catch Usyk, and then it could be the beginning of the end. That's my thoughts. I mean, Usyk has got a black eye. We've never seen him with a black eye before. Is it because he's 37? I don't know. But I don't know. I just can't see how he's able to keep doing.
Any heavyweight or any fighter gets hit by Daniel will have a hard time. He really punches hard. I mean, it's obvious, There's a reason why he knocked out Anthony Joshua in sparring. He's dropped many fighters in sparring because he's a massive puncher. So I think if you can avoid that big punch and boxing and hurt him and put him on the back foot, you got a chance to beat Daniel Dubois.
No longer just a power puncher, he's shown maturity, discipline, and composure. His knockout victory over Anthony Joshua silenced critics and reignited belief that he's ready for the elite. Usyk remains undefeated, the master craftsman of the heavyweight division. He's handled everyone in front of him, Joshua, Chisora, and most recently Tyson Fury, with skill and intelligence.
So, as I mentioned at the start, I'm here for the rematch for Oleksandr Usyk, Daniel Dubois, second time. First time they fought, Dubois got stopped with a heavy, stiff-looking jab from the southpaw position, and people questioned his desire and heart for the game, saying that he kind of quit. I mean, he did get dropped with a right hand, and he did just stand up in time, like 9 seconds, and the referee waved it off. But he had a really...
Dubois, especially with the last couple of wins that he's had and the knockout against Anthony Joshua, his confidence is going to be there. He's going to start believing. He's younger, he's fresher, he's going to have a lot more to give and show. And because he's a good fighter now, you know why? Because when he fought the first time, he really wasn't a name when he fought Usyk. And it's caught with that body shot. He knows he can hurt him. He thinks it was a legit body shot that put him down. But he got counted as giving him time. It was a low shot. But at the same time, I think Dubois now is a different fighter to what he was the first fight. So now I
agree.
I think he'll give big. But then again, Carl, fighters like that who might have more confidence, and they'll go into that fight against someone like Usyk and saying, you know what, I'm going to do this more now, I'm going to try this more, I'm more confident, I'm more of a better fighter. They're the ones that might get outclassed even easier. Maybe because when he was fighting him the first time, he was careful, he was smarter, he knew, he was very cagey, thinking, I don't know what I'm going to expect. I'm fighting the best ever, you know what I mean? In Usyk, one of the best pound for pound fighters in the world. But now, because he might be overconfident, or he might think, I've got his number, I know how to beat him, and he opens up a little bit more, he'll end up getting caught more, he might get hurt more. Might be an easier fight.
Usyk and Dubois is the best of the best. We've got the two best heavyweights on the planet going head to head again. Now, I'm a big fan of Daniel Dubois. I'm probably a bigger fan of Dubois than I'm of Usyk. I like Usyk also, but I like Dubois, and I like everything he stands for, everything he represents, and the way that he carries himself. Tip Dubois to beat AJ, and at a point where the whole nation or a lot of people were picking AJ to win, I looked at Dubois and I thought to myself, you know what? He's a good all-rounder. He's got some good moves. He hits hard, jabs well, good stamina. So there was a lot of tick boxes, and then I did the tick box on AJ, and Dubois came out on top.
But he's 37 now, and after 2 grueling fights with Fury, questions are beginning to surface. Is Usyk still the same elusive force, Or is time finally catching up? This time, the rematch is on Dubois' home turf, Wembley Stadium. The crowd will be loud, the energy electric, and Dubois will have momentum on his side.
Well, anyway, I think it's a very good fight. It's a very good fight because they met before. Obviously, you just have to see, what Dubois turned up and what Usyk turned up. Obviously Usyk's very consistent. Usyk's very, very consistent. Dubois has been consistent, but he's had some inconsistency in his career as well. Obviously the two ones that stick out is against Usyk and against Joe Joyce. But obviously, but Usyk has always been consistent. These fights he's been hurt, fights he's been, wobbled and stuff, and he's such a consistent professional. But Dubois has got power and he's got confidence, and right now he's flying high at the minute, so it's hard to pick a winner right now.
Final one, Usyk, Dubois or Anthony Joshua, who would you rather fight, just hypothetically?
Who would I rather fight right now? Usyk, because I want me revenge in England. That's all I want. I want a fair shout, and I don't believe I've got a fair shout the last 2 times. So I don't know what I'm going to have to do, because I can't leave it go to the decision. I'm going to have to knock the cunt out, but yeah, that's the one I want. But if I don't get that, then it'd be Joshua, the biggest British fight that will ever happen, and it would break all records, and it would sell out 100,000 at Wembley in an hour. And it's a fight that I think can happen for sure if I decide to come back and the deal's right and all the other shit that goes with it.
What's the one bit of advice you'd give to Dubois against Usyk?
He'd knock him out, because I wouldn't say that, because it's in England and it's on his own show, so just do the best you can. That's it, best you can. He hurt him before with a body shot, put him down heavily, so maybe he can land that same body shot.
Daniel Dubois beats Oleksandr Usyk.
How do you get to a point where you, besides the emotive connection with thinking that Daniel is in a better place than he was before, there's been no decline in Usyk, and we know we've got Krzyzak in the background leaving him as a promoter, but none of us think that's going to really affect Usyk. I've described Daniel Dubois as an irresistible force that might just be coming up against the immovable object. How do you reach the point where you are aligning upon Daniel Dubois beating Usyk? And we've been wrong every time we've put against Usyk, it's gone the other way.
I was going to say, firstly, do not agree with me, because you do get them ones wrong.
I do agree with you, by the way.
Oh, you do?
I think that's because I want it.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, look.
So you're both picking Dubois?
Absolutely. So I know Daniel Dubois. I see him work from day to day. I know what they're working on tactically. Go back to 2023 when Dubois lost to Oleksandr Usyk, and you say, all right, yeah, look, they seem quite far apart there. He had his moments, Daniel, but Usyk was sort of leagues above him then. Oleksandr Usyk has not got better since then. There's a lot of miles on the clock since then. There's no sign of deterioration, but what I'm saying is Daniel Dubois is a different character, a different animal from then.
You're saying that Usyk has not got better since fighting Daniel Dubois?
Yeah,
even though he's dealt with Fury.
Yeah, absolutely. That doesn't mean he's improved. I think the two fights
got worse either, does it?
No. The 2 fights with Fury. I'm just doing this. It's a calculated gamble. I think the 2 fights with Fury would have put some miles on the clock with Usyk, and Daniel Dubois, since the Usyk loss, has improved dramatically. And I mean dramatically, not just physically, mentally.
Will that be enough to outthink and outfight one of the most technically gifted boxers of this generation? Experts are split. Some say Usyk's footwork and IQ will control the fight again. Others believe Dubois, mentally sharper and physically more prepared, could land the shot that changes everything. 2 fighters, 1 ring, everything on the line. Redemption or dominance, heart or experience, the rematch is here.